Hi, welcome to a Roboflow demo movie. In this movie, I will show you how to upload files to Dropbox. Cumulus itself or Roboflow itself cannot talk to Dropbox, nor can it talk to Amazon or can it talk to Windows Azure or Cloudinary, CDN, and Google Drive. And so you have all these cloud stores where you could or where it could be useful to be able to upload a file to or download files from. One very nice example is, imagine that you have documents that on a periodically base are updated and that you want to deliver to a group of people. Out of the box with Cumulus, you could do this. You could create direct URLs, or you could have Roboflow create a zip, catalog it, and with a direct URL deliver it, or you could give people access to your website. But imagine the scenario that these are big files, let's say 100 megabyte, and that you have to deliver this every week to maybe 100 people. You could do this through your normal website, but your website could be very busy if it has to deliver this amount of files in these sizes. So it could be a useful procedure to be able to upload a file to, for instance, Dropbox and mail the link to that file to those 100 people. Instead of having all these people coming to your website, they're just downloading it from Dropbox. So you're moving away a lot of your heavy lifting and processing away from your web server. The same could be done for any delivery or any downloads done, for instance, in sites or portals or Cumulus Web Client. You could integrate a plugin for Roboflow that actually asks Roboflow to deliver the files. And instead of delivering them through your website, you could deliver them through Dropbox or Amazon or whatever. This example uses a Roboflow Extensions plugin, which is not part of standard Roboflow, but can be obtained by me. And so you can just drop me a little mail and you can get this plugin from me. It's a very straightforward installation, 10 minutes, and you're up and running. So this workflow is going to upload, it's a hot folder workflow, this example workflow, and it's going to upload any files dropped in a particular folder to Dropbox. It's going to create a share link to that file, and it's going to mail it to a designated email address. How did I proceed? Well, first of all, you need to follow a little procedure in Dropbox to create a folder that you want to be allowed to connect to an app. All that is described in the documentation of Dropbox, and there's a short version of it in the help of the plugin. And once you've done that, you can use these folders in Roboflow. Here's an example of a folder that I created. It's called Cloud BU, and my Dropbox is not responding. So it could be that my my internet is down for a second, but it'll be back. No worries. There it is. So you can see that under the section of files, there's an apps section, and in that apps section are my folders that I created. So, as I said, there's one example, the cloud one, and this has some files. I'm already using this to send actually some backup stuff to it. I have actually a procedure in Roboflow that backups some crucial files and uploads them. let's take a look in the workflow itself, how this can be accomplished, how we can upload files. As I said, there's a procedure describing how to create and activate such a folder on the Dropbox side that will result in a little file, and this file will contain a key to access the Dropbox application folder. And here what I did in this workflow, I added the path to that particular file because we will need it. Same for the app name, it was CloudBU, and you can see CloudBU, and that's what I will be uploading to. And you can create whatever subfolder structure in there that you like. So I'm saying that my root folder in my CloudBU that I'm going to use from this test is Roboflow upload test. So in the workflow itself, how can I talk to Roboflow? Well, once the plugin is installed, you will see Dropbox instructions. So like for any action, you have a action category, and when the plugin is installed, you will have one for Dropbox. You could have one for Amazon. You could have one for working with Excel files. You can have one for many other functionalities. Just contact me if you are interested. But here we're using for Dropbox, and here are the instructions of what you can do. You can upload a file, you can share a file, you can ask for a list of files, what the files are in a certain folder to be able to work with them, maybe delete them or download them. So you can download a file and you can delete them. And so these are one of the things, or some of the things you can do with Dropbox and that are implemented in this plugin. So what I'm doing in this script is very easy. I'm having a drop folder. So in that drop folder, I will be dropping a file, any file. So imagine you want to deliver something to the public, to a number of email addresses. I'm just taking a little test file. So I'm calling it test, or like that. And when I run now the workflow, I can simply say start. It's something that can be with any Roboflow interface, workflow running on an interval or whatever. And what you can see is that the file has been uploaded to Dropbox to this folder, actually folder and file name. And so it's uploading it, and then it's uploaded. And then the next step, what I'm doing is, because I want to email the access to it, and by default you can just upload it and then it's only accessible by somebody who can log into that Dropbox account, but I actually want to share it because I want to deliver it to somebody, and so I used a share instruction, which I will show in a minute. So the result is that if I look in my mail, that I'm going to get my mail messages, and it's downloading one. So there's one mail coming. The one you're seeing on screen is from a previous test, and it says Dropbox delivery. You can call it whatever you like. We will see that in a moment. And here it comes. So it says, dear customer, below you find the Dropbox delivery. And this is the file that was uploaded, and you can click here to download it or copy this URL in your browser. And so if I click here, it opens my browser, and in this case it brings me to Dropbox, and there it is. And then you can do whatever you allow them to do, and this is the little file, so they can share it, download it, whatever. But if you really just want this to be a delivery, then you can in Roboflow change the URL that it does not end with DL equals 1, but that it ends with 0, but that it ends with DL equals 1. And if you change that URL that way, it just doesn't go to Dropbox, it just delivers, it just gives you the ability to download. And that's of course a very easy and efficient way to deliver files to the outside world. if I have a look here in this particular folder, you can see that here is my file that I just uploaded, and it is already shared. You can see with little chain symbol here that it is shared. If we have a look in the workflow, how was this accomplished? Well, very simple. I start by picking up the file name. I just output this to the log and I just say upload. In that upload instruction, I say which file do you want to upload, the hot file, the current file, and the drop folder. I use the credentials that I defined in my parameters. I use the app name that I defined in my parameters. I tend to put anything that can change outside my workflow logic, and so outside the action script. That's why I use these tags. And then I'm saying my Dropbox upload folder, also something I defined in the parameters. And then I'm picking up the hot subfolder, which is an internal variable that is always available in hot folder workflows. So if I drop the file into a subfolder structure, if I want, I can have automatically this upload instruction also recreate that folder structure on Dropbox. And then finally, I have the file name that I'm sending and I'm telling it to overwrite. Dropbox has the ability to either overwrite files or you can add it as a version. To the outside world, you're just seeing the latest version, but an administrator could get to older versions if necessary. And then it stores the result from Dropbox in a variable. This result is a hash table, a table which contains all the elements or all the information, metadata, that Dropbox gives you back. And you can list that in your workflow, you can access that. In this example, I'm just testing if the object exists, the return result object exists. If it exists, I'm saying, okay, the uploaded file from Dropbox was, and that was the name of that variable. And I know that the internal key with which this is stored is this. So that's how it ends up telling me what the path to that file is. I can also, you don't see the output because it's disabled, but you could also just output, it's this, you could just output the key and the value of what is in your hash table. So this is a very easy way to upload the file, and then sharing is exactly the same. If you want to share the file, I'm using the credentials, I'm using the app name, and I use what is called the file key, which is the Dropbox path to the file, and then which is actually this. And again, I'm storing the result and outputting the result. And so if it exists, I'm saying this was the file shared, and that's then the URL, the Dropbox URL. So you see, it's very easy to work with. It's very transparent. It's just integrated completely into your Roboflow, and it gives you a lot of extra functionalities interacting with, in this case, Dropbox, but it could also be Amazon or others. So there are many use cases for this. So if you're interested, you can contact me on this email address, and then you will be able to use this too. Thank you for joining me on this demo movie, and see you on the next one.